Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You see this guy? Do you see him? Do you see him? How about now? I can't scroll anymore. It won't zoom any further. Oh, man. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree, and for today's video, we are on about part 2 of the anniversary. So I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to join the discussion down below. What do you think is happening for part 2? When do you think we're going to get it? What do you think is going to come out alongside it, like side characters or Zenkais? Post all that fun stuff down below in multiple comments as well if you want. They really help us cook the books for the algorithm. Post all the comments. Post 10. No. All right, so here's the deal. Most people are assuming it's going to be Orange Piccolo, myself included. Why? Because it makes a lot of sense for it to be Orange Piccolo that comes out next. Now, I don't know if it'll be an Ultra, probably not, but we don't really know what they're going to do this year. Why? Because they started doing summonable Ultras, and long story short, they could release an Ultra, then that's an LF Ultra, or they come back and then for part 3 in a month and do another Ultra. They could do back-to-back Ultras. They could go LF Ultra like they did last year, right? Or I don't know what they're going to do. I do not know. I'm going to assume it's going to be an LF Piccolo, right? But I don't know. I don't know in terms of what they plan on doing. All right. So Piccolo, regardless, the character being Piccolo, and I think that he would come out and be a headliner. Now, the question is then, well, what would he come out alongside? And then we're also going to talk about what it could also potentially be otherwise. And the reason why Beast Gohan is pulled up is because Beast Gohan has simply not been back. These banners don't count. These Rising New Year banner, it was actually a really big deal that he was on these, by the way, because his banner had just literally 2 weeks. His banner was gone for 2 weeks and they brought him back. This is something they do not do. This was a huge, huge thumbs up to the players, but mainly the spenders. But anyway, I digress. Long story short, he hasn't been back since his banner ended. This banner was up for a month and a half, all the way back in October, and there's that. Also, fun fact, I believe that the superhero, I saw this on Guresh, I didn't fact check this, so correct me if I'm mistaken, but the homie Guresh was saying that the superhero movie's anniversary just happened for the Japanese release, so there's that too. More reason for them to run a superhero mini campaign for part 2. But yeah, Beast Gohan, and I don't know about Pan, but Beast Gohan himself has not been back since his initial banner, basically, and this is all the way back in freaking December, dude. This is actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, the latest banner. I don't know if this is tickets or what. Yeah, it's a ticket banner. So really, it's not really tomorrow. But basically, this is 7 months ago. 6 months ago. If I do my math wrong, quick maths. I'm really bad at quick maths. Anyway, it's been a damn long time. So he probably comes back soon. So that's more or less why I've already told you why I think it's going to happen, like literally, because that's an insanely long time period to just not have a character return, especially a popular character, a good character. He's going to come back. And I would bet on it. Like, I would seriously bet that even if, for the record, even if Piccolo doesn't come out, I would bet everything that Beast Gohan returns during his anniversary on a banner somewhere. They might give him the 17 treatment where he's on his own separate side banner. I hope not. I really hope not, because that was really scummy that they did that with 17. But Beast Gohan's been gone too long. He's going to come back. So he'll come back alongside Pan probably. Again, I don't know if she's been on any of the banners. Probably not. And they're probably going to mess around and do another 1% sparking character that's new alongside Piccolo. So Piccolo, and then these other characters are on the banner, and then there's another 1% character on the banner. Who would that character be? Probably a transforming Gohan. That's what I would think. I would actually like to see them do something outside of the box. We don't really know how they're going to do, like, Cell Max. Some people say sometimes, oh, they could just make him big, like Broly's or, like, Cooler's kind of there, but, you know, like Majin Buu. And it's like, yeah, those characters are bigger, then sometimes you can't even see around them. Like God Topo, you can't even see around him. Zamasu, you can't see around him. But, like, that's such a missizing. He's basically, like, freaking deformed. He's a midget. If you he's not even a midget. He's like I don't know, man. I don't know. He's, like, terribly small if you do that. No offense to actual real life small people, by the way. If one of you is listening, I'm sorry, that wasn't intended. Anyway, I don't really know what the correct term is. I don't know, small people or midget. I'm serious, I don't know. Okay, moving on. He would be way too small, so I don't think they'll do that. But something outside of the box is that they could maybe make a Magenta that just, like, has a Hirudegarn type of effect where they pop in with the animation for Cell Max, right? Like Hirudegarn pops in for the yellow Tapion whenever he's killed. By the way, that mechanic has not come back. That Tapion mechanic has not come back in a year. literally a year. He was actually part 2. This is hilarious. He was part 2 of the 4-year anniversary. So Tapion in a week is a year old. So like, literally that mechanic has not come back. So just food for thought, they could do that as well. But I would probably guess it would be a transforming Ultimate Gohan, because pretty easy character to choose. There's a few other ones I would like to see eventually, right? When they start running the gauntlet, like I want to see Goten and Trunks. Oh, that would be so dope. I would actually like to see a sparking fat Gotenks, because we don't have any of the deformed Gotenks. Like I keep saying like deformed. We don't have any of the failed fusion Gotenks in the game. Not any of them, kid or otherwise, right? I would like to see that happen. That would be awesome. And make his give him an ultimate and make his ultimate have the animation where his butt's out. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. It'd be so funny. All right. So now that I talked about what I think it'll be for part 2, and I also kind of briefly mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. People were thinking part 2 would start this week. I can kind of see why, but I also don't really see why, because part 2 started a week from tomorrow. No, a week from Thursday, I believe. I think it was on the 22nd when part 2's banners went up. So that means a week from today, a week from tomorrow, whatever, we'll have a video and stuff announcement. I mean, I don't know if they'll do a literal video and stuff, or if they do like a short reveal video that they put out. I don't know. But part 2 should start in a week and some change. So a week and a couple days. So yeah, this stuff's going to pop up pretty soon. Now, here's the fun part. Well, if it's not Orange Piccolo, whether it's an LF, an Ultra, an LF Ultra, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it'd be Piccolo for that, but like, I don't know. But anyway. If it's not Piccolo, who can it be? Well, this is where things get kind of fun. This is where things get just a smidge fun. Now, we're going to disregard the fact, to push my agenda, we are going to disregard the fact that they gave us a free cooler. And we're going to jump all the way to Trucker Hat's movie. Dude, do you know how hype I would be if we got a Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku LF? Like, for the record, that green one, his animations have aged tremendously well. His windscreen's tight too. They did a good job on him. As a regular sparking, that green Goku deserves some love. His animation's really good. But. An LF of it though. An LF of it. On a similar wavelength, I would actually really like to see a LF version eventually of that blue Goku from the Broly movie. Where's he at? You know the one, the fist coup, man, where he just freaking plows his fist into Broly. I thought about it after I said it. This guy. Eventually, not right now. I don't want to say it, right? Also, another fun fact. This isn't really on me pushing my agenda. You know, we don't have an LF Super Gogeta in the game, so there's that. That's something that you can also potentially do. Now, what I actually would like to see otherwise, just aside from the Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, which I think has a okay chance of happening. I mean, there's a freaking Goku in every movie. Like, we already have, like, representation of the bird Goku, you know. They call him Bird Ku, the one from the Cooler movie. Yeah, we just got a cooler character, but I'm disregarding that to push my agenda, like I said, shamelessly. Dude, why do we not have an SSG Goku LF? And I don't even really care if I mean, it can't be this guy. I mean, they can make an LF out of whatever, I guess. I mean, villain characters get LFs, and they very rarely actually get the finish in the series. Anyway, but more so the Battle of Gods one. So here's the problem with Battle of Gods Goku. The problem with Battle of Gods Goku is that if they introduce him, I'm pretty positive it was, because they've already done it a couple of times, I'm pretty positive it would be from the saga from Super. And that's a very big deal, because it means they wouldn't actually be a movie character. But I would really, really appreciate it if they produced a Battle of Gods movie version of the character, just for the record. But again, because Super exists, anything that happens for Battle of Gods or Resurrection F is most likely just always going to be Super's version. And that may or may not give them more to pull from, maybe slight differences in moves or things like that. They can animate stuff differently and use both sources, I guess. But they're probably just going to completely disregard the movies, which is unfortunate. But I think this character is heavily underrated, just underrepresented in this game, period. But I would like to see a movie version of that. But again, that's way out of left field. It's not anywhere near as possible as the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a couple other Dark Horse things, but there's not really a lot that I can really see them doing outside of Orange Piccolo, unless they're going to find a way to hit up the Broly movie again, which, I mean, I guess. I guess. You know, the funny thing about an LF Super Gogeta, I kind of just threw that out there. The funny thing about an LF Super Gogeta is that it would actually kind of track with what we kind of have. Not really, but kind of more so with what we're expecting. In that we are most likely for part 3 in July, getting a Vegito Blue. And so you could start building out that fusion team a little more in a modern fashion if you gave them another LF right now, for the record. And we'd also be a movie character who would also fit the theme. So it just food for thought. I don't really think it's going to happen, but food for thought. Now, like I said, we could run the gambit. There's always a bunch of characters you can have. They've actually represented a lot of the movies in one way or another. They've produced characters from each of the movies pretty much. I mean, there's a couple of movies like Dead Zone, World's Strongest, the Dragon Ball, like actual base Dragon Ball movies that we have that like never get talked about anywhere. But for the most part, they've represented characters from each movie. And they always have this propensity to stick to the more recent movies and stuff like that, so I don't really know what they would do. And last year, they already hit up Wrath of the Dragon, which was like the last like big movie that there was no representation from. So yeah, I can see them hitting up superhero. I think it's just going to be superhero, dude. I really do. Power Wake and Piccolo also will probably be on that banner, but whatever. I just think it'll be superhero. It could be Broly, but I think it'd just be superhero. So, speaking of Broly, I just want to throw out there another dark horse name that has no real roots, but just me saying it just because I can. How would you guys feel about Bio Broly? Seriously, I genuinely want to know. How would you guys feel about a Bio Broly? I'm terribly indifferent. Like, I am so indifferent, I couldn't care any less. I just think it would be really funny. So what about a Bio Broly? And the last thing I'll say is Lord Slug's movie has very, very minimal representation. Again, there's characters, because like I said, they've done characters from basically everything. But, oh man, an LF Janemba would be cool too. The problem with Janemba getting one is that it doesn't really track with what we're getting. Like, Regen isn't doing much. I mean, Regen kind of had some stuff popping for a little bit earlier this year. But like, it was kind of like sporadic, I guess. But yeah, so the Lord Slug movie doesn't have very much representation. And so I'm not really talking about Lord Slug himself, but here's a fun one. Goku from that movie. It's always Goku, isn't it? Goku from that movie getting an LF. And I know that the first thing that comes to your mind if you've seen that movie is false Super Saiyan Goku. I don't know that that form has been represented in Heroes. I believe somebody told me once upon a time it has been represented in Heroes, but the reason why they don't do anything with that form in like any games ever, basically, again, Heroes is kind of its own thing. They pull from everything. But the reason why that form isn't talked about or mentioned anywhere is because it was an animation error. Not really an animation error. I could go more in depth with that. But the timing of that coincided with the timing of the release of the superhero form, Super Saiyan form, basically. So they didn't really know what they were drawing or how to make it look. So it's just a little bit different. You could just chalk it up to an animation error, but there's a little more context to it. But that form, long story short, isn't meant to be its own thing. It's almost akin to in the Otherworld tournament where there's that black-haired Super Saiyan Goku that's just a one-off thing that also never gets represented. It's the same damn thing. So, not completely, but again, context. So, yeah, like, but I want to throw that out there as another option. But the main thing, I think it's just going to be Superhero Piccolo. Because, again, it's going to be a movies character. Because they're giving us the free characters right now for movies. There's no reason why they would give us free movie characters right before part 2 if it wasn't going to be a movie character. It's just that simple. Now, I know what you may be wondering as well. Well, okay, well, why are they giving us some other stuff in between? Like the Goku getting an equip. You got that equip, right? It's in the game. I haven't done it. I haven't even farmed him. Anyway, the Goku getting the equip, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the God Key, most likely UI Goku getting a Zenkai here as well, things like that. But part of that's because the God Key tag is going to be getting a buff, like I said, next month, and also because Universe Survival or Zenkai buffs and just various reasons as to why. So again, it's going to be a movie character, probably going to be superhero, like most likely, sure. But I want to know, fun idea, what do you guys think it could be? All right, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, can we get an LF tag Gamma 1 and 2? God dang, dude. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have that? Okay, well, the movie's not that old, but still, give us one of those.